This 77-year-old man went to war with a Mexican cartel.
Alejo Garza Tamez had spent his entire life building and working at his ranch, and one day the cartel wanted to claim it as their own property. In the AM hours of November 13th, 2010, 77-year-old Don Alejo was startled by a convoy of trucks approaching his property. This isn't someone trying to do honest business. It was the Los Zetas cartel. The trucks stopped and out came heavily armed cartel members. One of the members approached Alejo and demanded that he handed over his ranch and informed him that it would now be property of Los Zetas. They then gave him an ultimatum: leave within 24 hours, and if you're still here when we return, we will kill you. Don Alejo took a moment and replied, "I'll be waiting. I'll see you in the morning." When they left, they definitely thought Alejo was bluffing. What would a 77-year-old man do against 20 combat-aged men? Don Alejo couldn't go to the police either, as many of them were compromised by the cartel. So he chose to protect what he built his entire life. When his workers arrived to work that day, he told them to go home early and enjoy the long weekend with their families, not giving away that anything was wrong. Once all of his workers left, Don Alejo prepared for war, and he would be a one-man army. He went into his basement where he kept all of his rifles, and he then strategically placed them all in the doorways and windows of the house, with plenty of ammo prepared. He also boarded up all the doors and windows. He then called his wife, knowing more than likely this is the last time he would ever speak to her. Nighttime then came, and he was waiting for the attack, but as the hours ticked by, nothing happened. However, around 4 a.m., Alejo heard the hum and roar of multiple truck engines outside his property. The Zetas had arrived and circled the ranch in formation. They were honking their horns, flashing their lights, and firing gunshots in the air. At first, nothing happened, and the cartel just assumed the old man had left his farm. However, the sound of a gunshot filled the night sky, and it wasn't from one of them. This set the cartel into panic mode, and a battle then ensued. Alejo boarded up the windows, leaving gaps he can shoot through, and he went window to window, taking shots at the Zetas. And due to the darkness, the Zetas couldn't figure out what window Alejo was shooting from, and they blindly sprayed their guns at the property. During the gunfight, Alejo's marksmanship would come in handy. He dropped cartel member after cartel member. He had killed 4 of them, resulting in the cartel convoy retreating into the darkness. Alejo maintained his position, waiting for them to return. The cartel was flustered and knew they couldn't go back to their boss empty-handed, defeated by a 77-year-old man, so they drew up a plan. In their trucks, they had a grenade launcher, and the cartel once again approached the property, though they were worried to engage in another gunfight. Alejo then let out 2 more shots, and he hit 2 more cartel members before one member used a grenade launcher to bomb Alejo's house to smithereens. At this point, the battle had been going on for several minutes, which alerted the military, who were now closing in on the area. Instead of entering the house after bombing it, the cartel fled the scene instead, leaving 6 men behind. 4 were shot dead, and 2 were unconscious due to being shot by Alejo. The military then arrived at the scene and found the bodies of the Zeta members. The soldiers then entered the house, which was now filled with bullet holes and debris. They then found Don Alejo's body in the doorway to the bathroom, with various wounds to the body and head. After being hit by multiple pieces of shrapnel and being shot, it's believed that Alejo dragged himself to the bathroom to have one final showdown with the cartel before he passed away. This 77-year-old man went toe-to-toe with at least 20 heavily armed cartel members while only using old hunting rifles. Don Alejo was a man of honesty, principle, and hard work. The story of Don Alejo is a tragic tale, yet a tale of inspiration.